As America's Mercury 7 astronauts were launched on really death-defying missions, television cameras, of course, also focused on their wives. Overnight, these women were transformed from military spouses into American royalty. And their lives and friendships were documented in a book that's called The Astronaut Wives Club. It's a true story. Now, it's being released in paperback for the first time. And joining me now is author Lily Koppel with news on the exciting future of the book. And what's interesting, good morning to you. Thanks for being here.
Thank you.
I have been delving into this because the history is really fascinating because, of course, this was the right stuff really kind of documented these astronauts in particular, and that's really kind of where we got a glimpse of the wives themselves, that they're sitting there sort of nervously at home, sort of chewing on their fingernails, so to speak.
Filling the ashtrays and sipping the coffee.
That their husbands come home. What do you find most fascinating about, because you went and you interviewed all of the women who are still alive, and they're still close.
They are. They almost call each other space sisters, and they formed the Astronaut Wives Club in the 60s to sort of support each other, because these were unknown women. They were military wives, and all of a sudden they go through this Cinderella transformation, and they're served up to the country as almost America's first reality stars. And they got very little training, so they had to turn to each other and coach each other. They even came up with a motto, which is when the reporters would ask them, how do you feel when your husband's being, launched on the world's largest stick of dynamite? It would always just be, say you're happy, proud, and thrilled, so you don't,
Exactly.
Yeah, so you don't break down into tears.
Oh, and you can understand why they would do that too. I mean, because I think we're all used to sort of lots of media attention now, but certainly not way back then. And it's very exciting because you actually now, there's a TV series coming out specifically about your book. Congratulations.
Is. Thank you so much. Well, it's just an incredibly exciting time, and it's full of rocket-shaped beehive hairdos and Poochie mini dresses. The wives would all gather together for these splashdown parties at their homes in the space burbs outside of Houston's operations.
Which is how they refer to it, sure.
Exactly.
Was there any one of the wives that you were particularly even more fascinated by, or did they have a story that maybe we've never heard before that you would share with us?
Well, I think, we know a little bit about Annie Glenn from The Right Stuff. She had a terrible stutter, but she was sort of the all-American housewife that NASA demanded of the wives. Betty Grissom had a very tragic story. Her husband, Gus, was killed in the largest NASA tragedy, the Apollo 1 fire in '67. I was fascinated with some of the wives who sort of broke out of that perfect American housewife mold. Reen Carpenter was blonde and vivacious. JFK said he found her the most attractive of the astronaut wives. And by the end of the program, she's hosting her own television show, and she's almost more of that lean-in model of the woman that we see today.
So when will we see it? When does the
It's going to come out mid-season. It's by producer Stephanie Savage, who did Gossip Girl, and it's going to really get into the era and just the plates of deviled eggs and the mission launches, and I think it's really fascinating.
Embellishes quite a bit, you think, on the book, or pretty much stays true to form?
It's a limited series, so it's going to be about 10 episodes, so it really stays true to the spirit of the book, which was really important to me, because these women are really the quiet heroes in the background. They really are sort of Mrs. Right Stuff, and so I wanted them to get their due.
Looking forward to seeing that and reading the book. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
I do appreciate it. Good luck to you. And you have been invited to, by the way, to the book signing tonight. It's at the Bookmark, which is at 7 o'clock this evening out at the beach. Tark?